Alrighty, so today is a little bit of a different video today, but we're going to be discussing about a movie that has been highly anticipated, a superhero movie, quite possibly for a decade. Superman 2025 by James Gunn. So if I'm being honest though, this has got to be one of the most exciting times to be a superhero fan. Marvel is going to be making two more Avengers movies, and honestly, I don't know how well that's going to be doing because of all the recent track record with Marvel and Disney going around. From what I could understand, ever since Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and 3, I can confidently say that this man never misses with a superhero movie. Every time when I see him make something like this, he understood the assignment with Guardians mainly, because there was a time where people didn't know who the Guardians of the Galaxy were, and a lot of people were just like, oh, these characters are cool. That's how normally people digest these movies and shows, is because that's just literally how we've been telling these stories for like decades now. It's basically like reworked history, but told for the modern era. So it's kind of like Hercules, modern Odysseus, you know, just stories we've been telling each other that have been made over and over again. And all these complainers basically complaining about that Superman isn't like Henry Cavill, or basically the color of the suit isn't looking great. Like, I saw a lot of people in general complain over the smallest things and started like doing all this crazy stuff. Like, the hatred for Superman is because they haven't been exposed to Superman in this limelight yet. Because the only reason why we only know people think Superman is a bad character is because the way how Zack Snyder and Henry Cavill was written for the Man of Steel and the other movies. Barely focused on him in 2 movies, and they just killed him off just like that. So it wasn't enough time to even get me invested into, you know, to the character or even the story, because there wasn't really much structure to begin with, you know? But the overall narrative and subjective stuff that they came up with wasn't really the smartest decisions, and you know how WB is, they never make the smartest decisions regardless with movies. Yeah, we had to deal with that for a decade straight, which was a really bad Superman, really bad cinematic universe that was basically falling apart while the Marvel Cinematic Universe was flying around and just being popular. Now we're kind of in a complete 180 now at this point, because it seems like that DC, if Superman ends up being a really good movie, which I know it will, it's James Gunn, he has never made a bad superhero movie. It would be really weird if he did. The story that I had when me and my brother went to go see Sonic 3, this is before we did the review for the movie of Sonic 3, we saw the trailer for this, and we saw these like little, like 12-year-old kids sitting in the theater, and they were just sitting there going like, I don't even care about Superman. Like, who gives a shit about Superman? When the John Williams score kicked in, that was the only time they shut the fuck up. I'm not even joking. It literally took them like at least a few seconds for that shit to kick in, and people, they were just like, all right, I want to go see that now. That looks amazing. Like 1 minute ago, they just weren't talking shit about it just now, you know? Genuinely, some people are actually really excited for this movie, and I am too now, because I've been reading comic books my entire life, and I've been waiting to see a movie like this for an incredibly long time after being let down several years into the making of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, Jesus Christ. To be honest, seeing something like this too, everything about the trailer is intentional, because what is the first thing that James Gunn shows us? It's pretty obvious though. I'm zooming into it though. He's saving an innocent person's life. And that was enough to actually get me invested, because when this scene kicked in, it got me. It actually gave me chills, bro. Down to my leg hair, down to my arms, up to my neck hair, which I rarely have neck hair. I didn't even know I had neck hair until this trailer came out. This trailer got me like anything else would have, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, I know Thunderbolts did really well. Some people went to go see it, but I don't think it's going to have the like same amount of impact this movie might have, you know? The thing I got to mention too in this video is that the people who I need to go away now that these trailers have dropped, and once the movie kicks in and drops eventually, I was going to say that if these people who have said Superman is boring, Zack Snyder did a better job with Superman, or nobody cares about Superman. Like, I really need those people to go away and go see that movie, have their brains reconfigured just to understand what Superman is as a character. How can anyone even despise this as, like, narrative-wise? Like, this is DC. This is Superman. Something we've been waiting for, like, you know, a decade straight. And I really hope it does pay off, though, because if it doesn't, we're going to become an official Coco Melon channel at this point. That's it. I'm not going to post any more Marvel vs. Capcom. I ain't going to post any more superhero stuff. Any of that shit in general. Like, it's just going to be an official Coco Melon channel. I can't believe I said that, bro. That's crazy. I think the most insane thing about superhero movies being super popular nowadays is that a lot of the media reception behind it is that a lot of people only digest superhero media from movies and shows rather than comic books. I remember going out with my friends to eat one time, and we had a friend, like, I think it was my friend's friend or something. I don't know. They lived together, and we went to go out to eat, and then he said something like, oh, I love Thor, all right? I think he's a really dope character. Like, I love Loki. I love all these other Avengers characters. Like, this guy has never read a comic book in his life, which is understandable. He knows who Captain America is. He knows all those other characters because of the movies mainly, which is fine, understandable, because a lot of people don't read comic books. It's a lot more bearable to, you know, sit through a movie rather than panels, which I understand, because not a lot of people have the time to do that. Even my parents, even my grandparents back then knew who Thanos was. They even knew who Kang the Conqueror was, and they've never read a comic book in their life. The only reason why I say this, though, is that I need this movie to really have, like, a major effect on DC, similar to how Guardians of the Galaxy did with Marvel. Because nobody gave a fuck about Star-Lord or Rocket Raccoon or Groot when they were first introduced in comics, but in the movies they are beloved. But I don't even think I have to say how insane of an assignment that sounds. But if James really does nail this, though, I have a good feeling he will, without a doubt. This is just my very, very strong opinions on how I feel about, you know, this character and basically the whole superhero genre in general. You there, you like superheroes. Even though you don't think you do like some aspects of it because you grew up with them. Anyway, what do you guys think about this video? Are you guys excited for Superman? Are you going to be let down by Superman? If so, I don't think Superman's going to be the character for you. But anyways, that's about it. See ya.